How you doing?
Yo, what up, everybody? How we doing?
AJ's here.
AJ in the house.
It's been so long.
I know. What's up? How's everybody?
Yes.
We just appreciate you taking a break from your all-day lives, debating on TikTok to grace us with your presence this evening.
That's not debating. We just be scrapping. That's not debating.
No, but they're good. I was in the one that for a little bit that you were doing today. I like that you go live all day because it gives me something to watch when I'm getting ready for the podcast.
Well, it's not every day, but yeah, on days like this where I have time, I'll hang out, have fun with the people. I like getting yelled at and being called names.
Oh yeah.
Great pastime.
You're the racist white liberals.
Oh yeah, the lovely white liberals who you just know what I need from the world.
Oh yeah, they know better than you do.
We have to listen to them. They're trying to save us.
Amen. Hello. Save me. You're the smartest one in the room. Help me.
I was gonna say they just want to help. They just want to be super helpful. Unless you don't want to take their help.
We brought AJ on for his expertise and his favorite conservative.
We did.
Political commentator, Candace Owens.
So we should give some context to this because I was going off the other day and I called Tex and I said, hey, fuck Candace Owens. And he was like, whoa, what now? And we're going to show you guys the video that got me riled up. And I had said,
coming in too, by the way.
We should just have AJ on. Like AJ's the expert on Candace Owens. And like I was explaining in the back room, typically I only see like her sound bites, right? Her very carefully constructed sound bites that go out and get conservatives to be like, she's one of us and like we love her and she makes all the points. But one thing I've discovered about Miss Owens is she likes to hide some really hateful shit and shit that doesn't make sense in the middle of her shows around the sound bites. So I'll play the video that got me riled up and we'll discuss.
Take a look at this. Ready? So it is a Skims campaign, and it is a woman that is in a bra and underwear. Skims is the undergarment brand that is owned by Kim Kardashian. She's in a bra and underwear, and she's in a wheelchair. She's in a wheelchair, and it says Skims, made for everybody, available now. Really? That's all I'm going to say is really. I don't really understand how far we're going to take this inclusivity thing. I really don't get it. I don't know. And if I'm wrong, again, educate me. Today, I just want to be educated in the comments. If people that are in wheelchairs were thinking as they were looking around, like, you know what really upsets me? That I've never seen a bra and underwear advertised with a girl in a wheelchair. Why did they do this? I don't know. I don't know why this needed to be done. I'm just getting tired of this all inclusivity thing. It seems ridiculous. I mean, we're going to be on crutches and be like, well, how come we don't have a girl that's broken her leg on crutches also in a bra and underwear? I don't feel included. I don't know. I don't think I can buy panties. I just can't buy panties because I don't know. I don't feel included. And this is
now, something that's really important that I want to point out, right, before we get into it, is the ad, specifically the ad that she showed has a woman in a wheelchair, says right underneath the photo, adaptive bra and underwear. Now, if Miss Owens would have done any amount of research, she would have known that adaptive clothing is only for disabled people. It fastens at the sides instead of stepping into it. The sweatshirts are made to be accessible to have a port. The bra zip in the front because sometimes it's difficult, but it said it right underneath the photo that she showed.
Wow.
And now I'm going to play the response before we fully get into it because she was slammed all over the internet. She did make a follow-up video. It's very lengthy. It was hard for me to find a piece to really capture the ridiculousness of her, but I think I did okay. So
first and foremost, it is important for me to tell the world something, irrespective of whether or not you're Black, disabled, or you are fat, whatever the issue is. I want you to know something. Everything is not for you. That's the truth. Nobody wants to tell you guys this. I know in a way where everyone's like, I need to be seen everywhere. I need to see myself everywhere. Everything is not meant to be for you. So maybe you are a diabetic and you are watching a commercial for ice cream. Guess what? Maybe that particular commercial not sugar-free ice cream, maybe it's not for you. Maybe you have no hair. Maybe you're born with a condition that means that you're not able to grow hair and you're watching ads for shampoo. Guess what? It's not for you.
And the irony is that underwear ad wasn't for her.
Yeah, just so we're like clear, just this is the ad that she used.
Yep, there's the actual
I mean,
ad.
this is her video.
And it literally says adaptive scoop.
Wow.
Thoughts?
Oh, Candy.
We know how much you love her.
There it is. When I told AJ, when I said, "Hey, Kat wants to talk to you about Candace Owens," his reply was, "What did Candy do now?"
She's too concerned with freaking Kanye West and like making him proud of her that she's just being an idiot.
Listen, I just don't understand people who say, if I'm wrong, educate me, and then continue to be wrong. Like, I don't understand people who say shit like that. And you mean to tell me even after that first video, none of her producers caught that this was adaptive? Like, nobody caught that. Like, none of her producers said, hey, Candace, by the way, this was specific for them. So,
Right.
yeah, it's if the advertisement features them as well. I just think it's
AJ, the best part is she told Kim Kardashian that her producers needed to be fired for letting that go. She with her whole ass chest said that.
I was like, wait a minute. You asked to be teachable, and then you become unteachable. Like, you make no sense. Like, which one is it? Because I'm not versed on the community, so I would definitely be listening more than I'd be speaking, because that's just like, that's not my community. I'm not well versed in it. So, and I don't even think I would make a podcast or a video on it. I just wouldn't feel comfortable because I don't know, you know? And so it's like, when you've been slammed and you've been corrected, take the correction. And I think that would have been the better approach for her to just say, look, I messed up here. This wasn't, I'm real versed, and I did ask you to teach me, but people can also be cruel on the internet too, but that's not an excuse. She should have been more teachable in that moment. I agree.
Now, is she ever teachable?
Is she ever teachable?
when it's an older person, yes. Yes. She does not like Kim Kardashian. I don't even know why you would, like, if you really just don't like somebody, just don't comment on anything they do. Just leave it alone. Like, it is to the point where you just can't, like, because we all do it. Like, if we really don't like somebody, we can't, even when they do good shit, we're just like, we're good. We're so if it's that bad, just leave it alone. Just leave it alone.
Right.
Well, and that was my thoughts, because I mean, she praises Kanye West like he's the Messiah anymore. Like, I don't know what's going on there. Like, if I was her husband, I'd be like, for real? Like, what's going on here? But she hates her so much because of that not once, but twice, you made yourself look like an idiot. And like, as far as TikTok, like, I'm not really on political TikTok a whole lot anymore. I'm more over on chronically ill TikTok and disabled TikTok. And the excitement when these clothing companies started doing this was through the roof. I mean, like, and it wasn't like, I mean, at least speaking for myself.
Can you explain it? Because some people may not know what adapt. I didn't know what it was until you had.
Yeah. So I can only say it from my personal experience. Like, tank tops are very difficult for me at times to put on and take off, especially if I'm in a really bad flare and having very high pain. The tank tops for adaptive have like an invisible zipper that you can just zip them off. The bras zip in the front, the underwear fastens at the side so that it makes you more independent being disabled. Like I had said earlier, access to ports, like the hoodies will zip right here. If someone has a port here, the hoodies zip down here for easy IV use, because we're all usually cold when we're getting IV treatments. It's clothing that's specifically designed for disabled people. And it wasn't trendy, right? Like, a couple companies did it and it was very expensive. Like, the tank tops were like $45. The underwear was $30 for one pair. But when Kim Kardashian launched it, right, like, it was half the price. And here's this good material, name brand clothing line that's doing adaptable clothing. I don't like Kim Kardashian. I don't like any famous person, really. but like credit is due where credit is due. She didn't have to do that. There's not a lot of money in it.
Fact.
I mean, really, if you look at it, as a
Especially when you're at half
smaller-
the price and a smaller
Right.
market. I mean,
right. And it is important to have that clothing, I think. I mean, I wouldn't have thought so a couple of years ago, but now I'm like, oh, this is amazing. And so she literally did that video in the height of disabled people everywhere, like rejoicing in the fact that like we have clothes that are easy for us to put on now. Not
Right.
that we're seen, not that we're represented. Of course, that feels good. Everybody feels good when they're represented. But it was more or less like, oh, finally, I can put like a tank top on and off without having to bug my husband or, you know, fight with the clothes. And
she apologized.
no,
Because
that the
everyone was
second
saying that she-
video that I played was literally her response. She came back and said that she was being attacked. She even took a woman had done a response for her that is in a wheelchair, that is severely disabled. And because another thing that Candace had said was, am I going to have to look forward to seeing this now in my face in a bunch of campaign ads, like a bunch of disabled people? Like, wozer, like, what do you got against disabled people? But if it's for us, why
Right.
would we put you as our model?
Right.
talked about it
It's not
twice.
made for you. It's not about you.
But here's my thing. As regardless of like some of these like facts or whatever of whether she knew, didn't know, apologized, didn't apologize. Here's my thing on this whole thing. We as conservatives have been doing nothing but wanting the best person to get the job, regardless of color, disability, or anything, gender.
Right.
So even if this model in the wheelchair
Mhm.
was modeling for a normal clothing company and she was the best for the job,
Mhm.
Right.
what's the problem? See I just, beyond like the adaptive clothing and beyond that, to me it's like, what if this person was the best person for the job to model it?
Exactly. I
It's
mean,
not like
Well, and
it's not
she's
like
she's
what's her name, the Kardashian
exploiting the
person?
woke stuff. That's what
Well,
she's doing.
right, but it's not like that Kardashian person came out and said, we're doing this, we're putting out this model because she's disabled.
Right.
They just put it out. Like they didn't like make this, they're not doing Bud Light right now. Like they didn't come out and make this big hoopla.
Yeah, they didn't go
Like,
nuts with
we're
it.
doing this simply because they're disabled and disabled only.
Mhm.
right.
So
And I
to
would-
me, I'm like, I don't understand why it was such a big deal to begin with.
I would think if anything, she would give props to Kim Kardashian for thinking, for her team to think that far ahead and to use a product like Skims in that manner. That should be commendable, not in any
Mhm.
way, shape, or form. But you know, Candace is a little she's a little tricky in terms of conservatives because I'm really not clear on what the messaging is here with her. It started out one way, it's gone another way, it's gone a different way, and I'm really not clear. I'm still not clear on what Candace Owens does exactly.
Mhm.
Besides, you know, build Candace Owens. I don't really know. But I don't know her personally, never worked with her, never met her. But I do know people who have worked with her, who was with her in the beginning, and you know, they don't have very glowing things to say about her, but I won't say that I believe that because I don't know her. But yeah, sometimes she can get a little high on the horse, and it's like all you had to do was apologize and just give props to disabled people. It wasn't about, you know, I have to be right here and I'm the smartest one. Well, girl, then don't ask to be teachable if you're not teachable. Stop it.
And,
I didn't
AJ,
see
that's
where
a
she
solid
said that it
point.
was a great thing that Skims did. I mean, if she said it, like, cool, but it was all hidden by her ignorance and backpedaling and then saying, like, if a shampoo commercial for bald people, okay, well, this is underwear for disabled people. There's a disabled person modeling them. It's very simple. It's not for you.
Exactly. But that's the thing, knowing when to shut the hell up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I apologize, period.
Right.
Not I apologize. I'm still going to beat you over the head with my message. No, I apologize. I was wrong. I was completely wrong here. It was not, oh, but there's no but, there's no and, there's no if you felt it, you were wrong, period. That's it. That's it.
And it's
Why can't
okay to be wrong. Like if you jump the gun because you don't like that Kardashian person or whatever, if that's how you want to handle things, like cool, like okay, just jump. You don't even have to speak on that part. Just go, look, I was wrong. Thank you guys for educating me. Appreciate it.
We've all done it.
Y'all go out and buy
all done it.
Skims.
We've all done it.
adapted-
Everyone's
right.
literally everyone's
done it.
done it.
We've all jumped the gun, like, oh shit, okay, I'm my bad.
Right.
Right,
Sorry, I'm
especially
a
when you have a
human being.
distaste for people. I mean,
And
Jeez.
Danielle, I did not watch the entire second show. No, I mean, it's very possible that towards the end of the 15-minute, but this is my reason for thinking this before she made like the apology. It doesn't matter, but the video that she did was, I mean, she mocked a disabled person in that response video. She said a bunch of derogatory things. She sat on her higher than mighty Kanye West freaking throne.
Mm.
And so the I'm sorry didn't really matter.
Negate
right.
it.
It came with justifications. and
Yeah.
stuff.
Right. Exactly. Apologize, period. That's it. I apologize, period. I'm wrong, period. No placating to your message and your original point and trying to explain it, but then it's not an apology. It's flawed as fuck. And it's fraudulent, actually. Not even flawed, it's just fraudulent. And it's fake.
And the thing is, like, if she had apologized, like just and just said, I was wrong, sorry, this is what it is, and like even
Mhm.
taught her audience what the adaptive clothing is, and been like, and she could have even said, I wasn't aware of this, and then left it at that. Like, there probably wouldn't be any backlash at all.
I don't
Well-
think there would
well-
have been. In her first video, she was like, and I think that disabled people, they agree with me. And I think that people in wheelchairs, they'll agree with me. And it really backfired on her because
Right.
they absolutely did not agree with her.
Well, when you get those type of segments where people actually are teachable is when you have good producers. When you don't have good producers or people who are just yes men around
Danielle Webb, win. Because the video that I played, the second video that I played was days after she had made the video. She made this one 2 weeks ago. The original one was also 2 weeks ago. So I mean, did she make another one?
She
And when
literally,
did she
Yeah,
say
I
that?
mean,
In
how about-
between making excuses about
And
shampoo.
if she did, here's the thing: like, Danielle, send it to us.
Yeah.
Exactly what you're saying, and if it's something that we're wrong about, we'll absolutely come on here and give an apology with justifications too. Or I
I'll
mean,
make sure I
regular apology.
rant for 30 minutes about being disabled and how I'm right. And then, like, right in the middle of it, I'll give her kudos for saying that she was sorry.
Yeah,
And then I'll continue to rant on for like 15 more minutes about
because I seriously would like to see it. In all honesty, I mean, all jokes aside, I would like to see it. She did say she would send it.
yeah, no, I want to see it too.
and whatnot. Because if she did, then she did. But
Mhm.
and my thing here's the thing: you have creative meetings, you have producer meetings to do these shows. In all honesty, it should have never even gotten to the point of her going on that rant from the very first video,
exactly.
because the producer should have caught it, her creative team should have caught it, she should have caught it, because what is she famous of saying? That she does her homework before coming out with claims.
Oh, she once she finds a story that interests her, she's obsessive and she grabs onto it and she won't stop researching it.
Right, because it wasn't just this long ago that we had Keely's Coladas that was featured on her show, and we praised Candace Owens. So it's not even like we have a dislike for Candace Owens. We do know that AJ doesn't.
I
care for
mean,
her.
I kind of dislike her a lot more now than what I
Hit or
did a few
Hit or
weeks ago.
It is hit or miss, in all honesty, because it does feel like some of these like these fame grabbing conservatives is what it feels like to me, and that's why I don't pay too much attention to them. They're extremely hit or miss. I mean, did I like it when Candace Owens went up in front of Congress and said a lot of really good stuff? Hell yeah, I did.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah, great moment. Yeah, that was both times. They were great moments.
Yes.
Very great.
But this take, like, it's offensive. I mean, I know Kat took really offensive to it.
I did.
That's
I
fact.
mean, not in a I'm gonna go protest in the streets and cancel Candace Owens and go completely off my rocker, but just to the point where it was like dude, you make how much money? You got how big of a platform? You have people. I know you have people. I mean, me and Tux are nobodies, but when he's got a bad take, I'll be like, yo, that wasn't it, friend.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
that. Like, where are her people that are like, hey, in the actual screenshot that you showed, it says adaptive clothing. That's for disabled people.
Right.
Yeah, because it should have never even gotten to the point of being on the air. But I
But I
think,
do
in
think
all
that she
honesty,
hates Kim Kardashian so much. And well, it's like AJ said, I do it. If you get hyper
we
fixated
all
on
do.
someone and you don't like them, nothing that they say is going to be,
Right,
you're not going to agree with it.
right.
Like had the key to life. You'd be like, yeah, whatever. I don't care. I don't like you.
Well, I mean, we obviously see this with Trump. I mean, you can't deny 90% of what he did for America for 4 years. Like, unless you're a liberal, then you can find everything wrong that he did. And look at the shit show we're in now with fucking Biden's America. Like,
Jesus.
I mean, I didn't see anybody withdrawing from the dollar under Trump or hell, even Obama, even Bush. I didn't see anybody living, but Biden all of a sudden now it's like, damn.
Now, see, I'm pretty stupid when it comes to that stuff. And I know that you guys are much smarter with this stuff than I am. Like, what exactly does that do to us
That's
when
a
they
lot of our
start to pull like that?
yeah, that's a lot of our power because it's all money driven, right? So we get money from it. And so they trade their currency in our dollars. And so it builds their economy, but it also super builds ours. And that's why we've been able to be the superpower that we are. And so now with that, what do they call it? The BRICS or something like that? The British, Russian, and Chinese and India and Saudi Arabia.
Saudi Arabia.
Those are the countries, they call it the BRICS. Now they'll be trading that. So basically you have two humongous superpowers teaming up with a very rich Saudi Arabia. Brazil is in there. It's bad. That literally will take away our superpower.
But that makes me ask, like, how does that affect the average American person? Because that's what I care about, right? Like, how does it affect us?
Because our BRICS countries, if inflation will go through the roof because our value of our dollar will go nowhere. So like usually if you go to another country with our dollar, it's worth more.
Right.
So you get more bang for your buck in other countries based off of our dollar. Now, for sure, when that happens, we will probably have to come out more to equal the dollar.
Okay.
And then it'll hurt our goods and everything else like that.
AJ disappeared.
I'm back.
He's back. He just likes to be mysterious once in a while.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's gonna fall. So how about it before it falls? I just stopped.
Oh, yeah, man. So like right now our dollar's worth 80 cents instead of $1.
Yeah, it's gonna be a complete disaster in the making. But what they're using now, what liberals are saying is that we're distracting the world with this issue because of Trump. I'm like, bro, Trump's indictment isn't affecting the average everyday man. We don't care.
Right.
No, it's entertainment at this point. That's all it really is. He's an average American citizen. It's like watching the Johnny Depp trial, right? Like,
right.
Yeah, I mean, it's there's obviously some history in there, so it's going to stop. It's going to be like what happened with like OJ and Waco, where like every TV is glued on to those TV networks. But I think
they're not allowing it to be. The judge and Trump's team, I think Trump's team requested it, but either which way, the judge is not allowing cameras anywhere near that courtroom.
Right. But, they'll still be.
Oh, they'll be surrounding it.
The sketches. Watch the sketches. The sketches will come out making look.
And then he'll put them on fucking t-shirts.
Oh yeah, and sell them and make
and sell them and put them towards his campaign, and he'll make millions off of it.
Perfect. I mean, he's raised over 10 million, right, so far since.
Are you kidding?
Yeah. So I mean,
no, it's up to 16 million now.
Oh, is it? Wow.
And he didn't even have to sell NFTs this time.
And my whole point is, if he's so relevant,
Pokemon cards.
What happened? What I missed?
He said he didn't even have to sell NFTs this time.
It's Pokemon cards. Like,
with a lot of errors on them.
Oh
It
my
was
God.
like a lot of like right-leaning people were making me dislike Trump just because of how they were with him, the way that they idolize him like he's this infallible god that can do no wrong. And it really started turning me off
That
from
irritates the hell.
Trump. And I don't think a lot of Republicans are realizing that they're doing this. Like they're making a lot of us be like, oh God, just get rid of him. I'm done with it. And the Pokemon card thing sent me. And I was like, I'm done with him. But then when I saw this happen, I was like, okay, wait, like this is so wrong on so many levels what's currently happening. So really all this arrest I think is doing is bringing people back to Trump that started straying away from him, because I know it's done that with me.
Yeah, it's definitely done it with me, because this is why I voted for him to begin with. Well, not the main reason I voted for him, but like, if the establishment was so hard against him like they are with the Bushes and whatnot, that's why I was like, okay, there's got to be something to this, because if the establishment on both sides are like hell bent on stopping this guy, there's a reason why, and I want him in office. And so now it's become even more clear.
Mhm.
Although now that Robert F. Kennedy Jr. has entered the race,
I'm so interested.
I am intrigued.
That's going to be very,
Not even gonna lie.
very intriguing.
Because some people are wondering if, like, what would you do? I mean, it would be so hard to do, but like, what if they ended up like running together?
They won't. They can't.
They
I mean,
won't.
they
but
can. So they can in the sense of
I
like,
want to see it once in my lifetime. I just want to see like a Republican and a Democrat in those seats. Like, let's just see what'll happen. Like, we're not doing too hot right now, so let's
Okay.
just try something different.
yeah, and I'm down for it. I mean, if it was back like it was in the 1800s with the presidency, Trump would be the VP right now. Because second place guy got, or girl, whatever at the time, got vice presidency. So
There was no, what girl? There was no girl.
yeah, well, you got to be gender inclusive these days.
Whatever.
Oh God, I can't. When you sent me that list of sponsorships that Dylan has, it blew my mind. I did not realize that there was that many.
Yeah, it's crazy. I've just been waiting on AJ to start becoming a female now, because I figured he'd want to chase the money like Candace does.
There's something wrong, man.
Then Candace will have you on her show.
I mean, well, I'm not. I have to be like super. See, another thing that she preaches that annoys the fuck out of me is that you have to be a Christian to be a conservative. And I'm like,
That's that Bryson Gray stuff right there.
Yeah, that's that Bryson Gray hard.
Mhm.
That's not even conservative shit. That's right shit. That's right wing shit. And
Right.
then you can be a conservative who's a Christian, fine, that's fine, but don't say that, because that's often the argument I get into. Is like, well, you're a Christian, and I'm like, bro, I'm not. And I was like, that's how you can be all these different things and a conservative at the same time. It's like, because this has nothing to do with what dogma you might or might not subscribe to, and people don't get that, and it's just an annoying argument to have. But whatever.
So what is your biggest bone with Candace?
My biggest bone with Candace, the Blexit thing.
Oh, you don't like the Blexit thing?
I went to, when the
Really?
Blexit thing dropped. Okay, I was all in. Yes, Blexit, wearing the shirts and shit. And I went to the rally in LA. I think that was like the second or third rally she had, and it was cool, but there was no black people there. So I'm like, okay, so if I have a movement for green people and I want to shift green people's thinking and, want them to open their minds politically, I want them to politically be more mature politically, I want them to expand their horizons, even if they vote for the same party, to just make better decisions. If I want to do that, I would have to get them in the seats, right?
Right.
I can't go preach to the people who already like me. So you would need to get. So I'm sitting there. Of course, I got on the line in LA, and of course, these people start running up to me with their little fucking podcast mics and shit, because it's like I'm like 3 black people there. So I'm like, bro, how are you Blexiting to a bunch of white people? I was like, this don't make any damn sense. So I'm sitting there, I'm cool, whatever, and motherfuckers acting like they celebrities. So I'm meeting the only person that day who treated me like a fucking human being was Brandon Tatum. He was the only person that day that humanized me. He was the only motherfucker that walked up to me and said, "Hey, what's up?" He shook my hand. He gave me like 5 minutes. Mind you, this man was busy as fuck. So he had every sort of, but like when you met other motherfuckers, they like, oh, you want to take a picture? Or, won't look at you, but they're talking to you. I hate when people do that. Don't fucking humanize people. Like, look at them. You're not Michael Jackson. There's not thousands of people here clamoring for your attention. And so, but he was the only cool person. But that Blexit shit, and then I read the mission of Blexit, and then I don't know if y'all know the YouTuber Tree of Logic.
I've heard of it.
She's on here. She can't stand Candace. She that will never happen. That's like all out. She's all out. So no matter what Candace does or says, she ain't gonna like it. But she exposed a lot with Blexit. She went in deep dive. She spoke to people who left Blexit, and stuff. So it was just like, bro, if you sitting up here saying this is your mission and your vision, and now the mission and vision has shifted to this weird thing that I don't understand anymore, and you can see that Black folks are not moving in the way that you thought, well, it was because you're not relatable to Black people. Let's say that. And you're not in the community, you're not talking to the people on the ground, you're not going out there and actually reaching the people, and you think what, through social media and television, that they're just going to clamor to you. No, you have to actually be there with the people, and they have to know that you eat with them, you talk to them, you socialize with them. But when you don't get that, and you have a bunch of people around you, mostly white people, saying, yeah, you're great, Candace, like that's my biggest gripe. Like, no, like, if you're gonna Blex it, really do the fucking work to Blex it.
Yeah, because it could have been a really great movement.
It could have. And the shit still exists. And they're still doing rallies with a bunch of white people in the crowd. And I'm sitting there like, what are we doing? Like, then rename this shit, because it shouldn't be called Blex.
Right. Because we actually had somebody from the Lexit side, the Latino exit, on here. And she's obviously a Latino. And they're very much in the community, like deep in like El Paso, New Mexico, like down in South Texas, like always traveling for that.
And that's the thing. Like, you have to be on the ground people. And it's not about beating people over the head with your personal beliefs. It's just show you model it for people, and you show how it works, right? And then people will slowly start to, okay, no one's saying you got to be a Republican, no one's saying you got to be a conservative, no one's saying you got to be any damn thing, but clearly what the fuck you're doing right now ain't working.
No.
So make some shifts. Damn, that's all. But no, it that's just, that whole movement, yeah, I'm gonna leave it there. That's all.
Well, I mean, I think you get called a white supremacist?
A Black white supremacist, yes.
Right. Yeah.
And I got to make the distinction, because I tell people all the time that you call us coons. We're not all coons. Some of us are. I always say there are coons amongst us. I say that all the time. There are the ones who will go all the way to the end of the earth to appease people, to get their, and I'm like, I'm not that dude. AJ's rant room is AJ's rant room, and it's for AJ. And if you like it, cool. If you don't, that's great too. But guess what? You're never going to say that I did something just to fulfill your talking points. I don't give a fuck about your talking points. I don't like it. I don't like it. And that's why I'm not like, other conservatives, and you could tell the Black conservatives when they get planted, and all of a sudden they have these massive platforms out of nowhere. And I'm like, bro, yeah, you went and got hired. Okay, that's cool though, but I'm not wired that way. And so I gotta, and that's the thing, you have this distinction also gotta make with when I go talk to Black folks, is like, there's a distinction between all of us. Like, you can't put us all in the same thing. And we, I argue, y'all know Craig Long, right?
Oh yeah.
I go back and forth with Craig on certain issues too. Most recently, the basketball thing, that whole basketball controversy. We went back, and it's just like we're
Wait,
not.
I'm lost. What basketball controversy?
I forgot the two teams. I don't follow basketball, but it was women's basketball, and the white girl was taunting the Black girl.
Oh, it was LSU and
yeah, and then when the Black girl's team ended up, and she taunted her, but that was the one that went viral, and so everyone comes down on the Black girl. oh my God, how'd you do that? How'd you do that? Yeah, it's just bad sportsmanship. And even Joe Biden got in and was like, I should invite both teams to the White House. And
That backfired on her though, because then the girl, the LSU girl, the one that's being chastised,
uh-huh.
the black one, she says, I'd rather spend time with the Obamas instead.
She did say that. And she was like, first of all, you don't invite the losers to the White House, no matter what you think of what I did. Like, come on, like, and and just
yeah, it was Iowa
calling the girl ghetto and all this other stuff, and it was like, it's sports, it's sports.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I don't understand how you not have taunting in sports. It makes no sense to me. It's literally, it's like air. It's like breathing. You expect people going to talk stuff when you get on the field or when you get on the court. Like that's just part of the course. Like, come on, people. Like all of this sensitivity and we got to cater. Even like the taunting rule in football is one of the stupidest things ever. I'm like, why are we throwing flags because somebody said something? Like, who cares?
right.
Wait, we're throwing flags now for that?
Oh yeah, there's
the NFL.
Yeah, there's a taunting.
You can't taunt in the
See,
NFL.
I just try to like reassure myself that this is only really happening on TikTok and that people are only overly sensitive like this on social media. I really try to like believe that it's not
grown ass
affecting
men,
the world.
Grown ass men that have muscles over top of muscles playing
and
football
millions and
make millions are crying that somebody stood over them because they made a damn good hit and they got chumped up about it and they stood over them and that's a penalty now because they cry about it.
Wow. Yeah, it's just got
What?
like it's just too damn like I'm like, wow, you could play Michael Jordan's league.
Oh my gosh, could you imagine these guys in like Isaiah Thomas, Michael Jordan, Larry Bird days? I mean, wow. Magic Johnson,
baby. Not would never happen. They would quit.
Right. LeBron would have a consistent hamstring injury.
Oh my God. He's that dude, man. I mean, he does some good, so I'm gonna say he's all bad. But yeah, he for the most part irritates me. He does.
I have to sit through so much diversity and inclusion training at work. That started at my job before I was no longer able to work. And it like you're gonna just leave thinking that you're a white supremacist. And if you do, then their training worked. Because that's how I felt when I left. Like I was actually excited for it because I'm one of those dorks that loves like work meetings, like safety meetings and stuff. I don't know what my deal is. So I was like, cool, we got class today and went down. And then like I left and I was like, why do I hate myself so much right now? Like,
wow.
This is why on Twitter I've been trolling all the liberals today because I guess it came out that Clarence Thomas has been receiving like vacation trips from conservative billionaires, I guess. And they're trying to say that he didn't disclose that in his financial because apparently they're worth millions. The trips that he's been taking for decades. So now they want him to resign or impeach him and all this stuff. And so all the left is attacking him now. And I'm like, why y'all attacking the black man? Why y'all so racist?
And this is exactly why I didn't take these black liberals and these white like this is why I didn't take them seriously, because when that whole Roe v. Wade shit went down, and y'all literally let these white people call this man a monkey and a gorilla and the N-word, all types of other racial epithets, and y'all sat back and allowed this to happen. So if y'all sat back and allowed that to happen, what the fuck makes you think that I'm gonna step up? If anybody says or does anything to you, I don't give a fuck if they knock your head off. I'm not helping you. Have a great day.
Is this one of yours, bro?
Oh shit!
I do believe it is one of AJ's because when he first came in, he asked if this was a podcast for the oppressed.
Yes, that's Prince. That's.
Oh, that's Prince. I didn't know that was Prince.
That's Prince.
All right.
There's only one oppressed person in the podcast tonight,
and it's me.
And it's Jax.
I'm a straight white conservative male.
Oh, Lord, you're a endangered species.
You're a danger to society by you forgot to say that you were cis. and I'm really offended by that. So if you can make sure that when you describe yourself, that you always describe yourself. I'm just gonna start doing it to guys because I feel like women are the only ones. Like maybe I'm wrong here. If you two boys have experienced this during all of this, please correct me. I'm open to being educated. Okay. I feel, right? Like, have you guys experienced as men, trans men coming at you, demanding that you refer to yourselves as cis men? Have you experienced trans men coming in and being like, I'm going to speak on men's behalf now? I'm going to take sponsorships from men's ads. Have you guys witnessed any of this? Just out of curiosity.
Not personally.
No.
No. I mean,
Interesting.
I've had friends who have been in those conversations where it's like cis woman, cis man, and they're like, nope, no cis here.
Trans men are relaxed.
Right.
Right.
I was like, we don't have enough issues.
Which, like, is kind of crazy because, like, aren't, like, females typically known to be, like, the crazy ones in a situation and, like, over-emotional and all the rest? It's weird how that worked out, huh? It's weird that a bunch of misogynistic men call women over-emotional and crazy and hormonal, yet when they put on a dress and tell women how they're supposed to talk and act and what it means to be a real girl, they're the ones who are over-emotional and sensitive about what they're called and referred to.
Kat,
That part.
what day are you on being a woman for a change? What day are you?
I don't even know. I made a comment today because someone had said something about, because I said she doesn't need to refer to herself as cis. It was pretty much assumed by observation at birth that she's a woman. And the response is that woman and female are different because female is a biological term where woman is a social construct.
Oh gosh, all the time, all the damn time. A social construct. Meanwhile, y'all construct shit every week and remix it to fit an agenda just to comfort mental illness. And I'm not doing that with y'all. I'm not playing these games with y'all. I'm not. And here's the thing with the Dylan person. I don't give a fuck that you're milking it for all it's worth. You're making all this money. All these ads, do what you want. The problem I have is that he makes a mockery of women, and then he uses the most stereotypical women don't know sports, they're clueless, they're scared of bugs, all the
Oh
dumb
my
shit.
God, playing the dumb blonde, not knowing what March Madness was. I about came unglued.
So you want to talk? So when people like it's woman face, I'm like, yeah, it's blackface, woman face. This is literally just making a mockery of women. This is not embracing girlhood or being.
2 years ago, he was an actor
Offering master classes.
That
offering
motherfucker.
master classes for acting.
I know actor, no actor. That motherfucker's an actor. So and you found a shtick that makes you money, and you know you get all these companies to pay for all your little work. You get your facial feminization surgery and all that shit. You didn't pay for any of that. So you know I get it. You found a way to con people, and it's cool. Whatever, make your money.
Did
See, but like and maybe I'm sounding overly sensitive. Sorry, Tux. I'm not trying to overtalk you. I'm not, but like not to sound overly sensitive, but I do have an issue with you taking away from actual women. I do have a problem with that. Like when you are being represented by Tampax as a spokesperson and being paid, I got a little bit of an issue with that. You know what I'm saying? Like when you're working for Nike, modeling sports bras and workout gear, got a little problem about that. Bud Light, unpopular opinion, don't really have a problem with it. And some conservatives and Republicans are going a little far with the Bud Light thing. And I'm like, y'all are the reason the left think that we're like a bunch of assholes. Like, exactly. I don't care that she's sponsored by Bud Light. I don't. I get annoyed with Tampax, with bra ads, because you're not a woman. And she calls herself a girl. And it's creepy. It's not woman, it's girl. She's a girl.
I think the reason why people are upset on the Bud Light thing is because to my knowledge, Bud Light's never made a specific can for a specific person.
Oh, and really? It was to celebrate day 365
of being a woman,
a girl,
whatever.
So
I think that's where I don't think that, like, because Coors for decades has been sponsoring gay pride stuff all the time.
Bud
Like,
Light's put people on their cans before.
huh?
But also, this is
But
how
I'm
you
saying,
know.
that's why I'm trying to prove the point is that it's not based on because of they're doing it for a trans person, because beers have been doing it for decades of sponsoring the LGBTQ
Yeah.
community. And I think it was because of the reason why. I mean, they didn't go celebrate like Tiger Woods for all his masters and his golf career. Like, they didn't go do that. They didn't go do Michael Jordan. They didn't celebrate anybody specifically for any sport, any type of achievement. They didn't celebrate Joe Biden for becoming a diapers in the White House or anything like that. Like, but they did it specifically for that. And so that's where I think like the problem is that people have an issue was if they had a history of doing this, I don't think that there would be any issue. I think it's just why they did it.
Well,
Yeah. They didn't even do Kobe that passed away in a tragic accident. I mean,
wow.
AJ, we do have a couple of scandals here in the chat that we do have to address here. Can you address your homelessness?
My homeless.
No, I think they were talking about Dylan.
No. Inked has said several times that AJ is homeless.
Who said?
Inked.
Oh, Keisha. Sorry.
And then AJ, are you trans? Are you gonna be on the next Bud Light?
Yes, I'll be on the next Bud Light can. I gotta make this money. I tell y'all every single time, if you ever see me doing some dumb shit that you know I don't stand by, I got paid very well. Shut the fuck up. Let me make my money. All the time. That's it. Just shut up.
Worry about yourself. Just
right.
Yeah.
Worry about yourself.
See, Scott has my back. Ink definitely has said definitely that AJ is homeless.
Ink is a mess.
Now Dylan was on Price is Right a few years ago.
What?
Really? I mean, I could believe that because Price is Right. Because as a person who's in LA, as an actor looking for work, Price is Right is one of the jobs you can get. You can make like a little bit of money to get like dinner or some shit. So yeah.
Huh.
So he must have been on there as a guy because just 2 years ago, he was
1 year ago.
Well, 3 years ago, technically, that was 2020.
But 1 year ago,
he was 365 days ago.
Came out and said, "I'm a girl." And there was a video that I was confused by, but like I feel like when I say it out loud, someone's just gonna call me phobic of something. But I really don't understand. Apparently, there was a video that Dylan had done. I can't find it now, but I remember seeing it where Dylan had expressed that they were now attracted to females. And I was like, I'm not trying to sound ignorant here. I'm not trying to be an asshole, but like, doesn't that make you straight?
Well, isn't that the separation between the sexuality and the gender? Just because
I'm sorry, that comment sent me.
Prince, I can't deal with you right now.
I can't deal with Prince. He's got to get out of my comment section, Dwayne. Dylan's Showcase Showdown was. I can't.
Dylan's Showcase Showdown prize was a sex change.
I'm done. I'm done. That ain't right.
Wow.
Listen, here's the thing. Here's what I've learned about today's America in general, and this is why I've become less scared to say anything, because at the end of the day, even if you slightly disagree, you're transphobic. And all I did the other day was just talk about how we as America has made a prostitute and a trans murderer heroes. All I said. And then all of a sudden I became all this transphobic. I'm like, I'm not scared of trans people. Like, do you know what transphobic means? Do you know what phobia means? It means I'm scared. I ain't scared of them. I don't have to agree with your lifestyle and still accept it.
Facts. And I'm like,
I mean that's where we're like, that's where we're losing it here in America, in my opinion, until we all stop playing and stop with the pronoun stuff and all this stuff. It's going to continue to get worse. I mean, they just came out. Now there's trans age is coming out.
What?
Yeah, that's the newest thing on the pride flag is trans age.
What's that?
What's that?
Trans age people exist and we are valid. We are not tribalising or invalidating anyone simply by ourselves. We are not trolls. We are not predators. We simply want to live as our authentic selves, be accepted, and be free from harassment over people who we are. And they literally have a flag.
So does this mean that they identify as a specific age?
Yes, they changed their age.
So what if I
Oh,
identify? Wait, hold on. There's
I'm
gonna be a
trans.
problem here.
Wait, I'm trans age. What are you talking about?
I
I don't know what the hell I heard. I thought you said something else. I was like, oh, trans age. Oh, I can get with that. Yeah, I'm trans. They took my shit. How you gonna make a flag and take my stuff?
Victoria,
I can't believe
that's where my brain went.
I was gonna
immediately.
say there's a pedophile somewhere that's like, thanks guys.
Damn,
I'm just gonna identify as a 7-year-old now, and you can't.
Jesus. Oh
I do
God.
know that there's like transableism, where there's people that feel that they were born disabled and they'll actually like be in wheelchairs. They'll try to like have their legs
Isn't
amputated
there like a
by
medical term
plastic
for that?
surgery.
What do they call that? Like Munchausen's?
No, because Munchausen's would be if they truly believed that they were sick
But they do believe
and made
they're
themselves
disabled.
sick. Well, I guess it would fall underneath
Yeah.
Munchausen's, but they're calling themselves like transable. I
Yeah,
don't
'cause
remember.
they
what
want they don't want to call themselves Munchausen. That's why.
it was.
I mean, here's the thing. Like, we just got to quit playing, and that's the thing. Like, because you're gonna get
Right.
called the names if you just disagree.
Right.
We all know that. Like, at the end of the day, whether it's I'm a racist because I voted for a damn person, you know what I mean? Like, so they're gonna call you the names. Just take it. Quit defending yourself. If that's what you believe, say it and stick by it.
Fact.
And it's okay. It's okay because you know in your heart you're not being hateful.
Right.
So just say it and believe it. It's okay.
Say it with your whole chest.
Right.
Amen. Hallelujah.
AJ the trifecta is sorry.
It's all good.
AJ, how do you see America today?
Oh man. How do I see it today?
Yeah, like we're like the path we're headed down.
Oh, I think conservatives started speaking up too late, but it's not completely gone. But it's gonna require, yeah, it's gonna be pretty bloody to get some of the shit back, and just to have fairness in politics, at least a balance in politics again, because it's just becoming this monopoly and this conglomerate, and people's voices are being silenced, and I don't like that. I don't want that America. Even if I don't agree with you, I don't like you, you can still talk your shit, express yourself, do what the fuck you want, say what the fuck you want, as long as you're not trampling over me. I had this fight earlier on the live, and people are like, well, gay rights, blah blah blah, and I'm like, what rights don't you have? Okay, cool. Not liking you or liking you is not a right. I don't have to like you. People don't have to like me. That's not a right.
Right.
I don't give a fuck if you don't like me. I don't give a fuck. I got shit to do. I got money to make. I got things to build. I don't have time for this. Who likes me? Who doesn't like me? That's not a right. And I don't know where people get that in their head, that's a right to be liked, and that I have to come and impose myself on you, even though I know your dogma says I don't really fuck with this, but I'm gonna come over here anyway and try to do it because I know now I have all these legal things that I can throw at you. And it's like that's not the America I want to live in. So we're in a ring the alarm mode in my mind.
Yeah, you think we took on that silent majority too long and too proudly?
Too long, too proudly. And if Trump was irrelevant, unelectable, and a thing of the past, then why go through all these lengths to push him to not run? Like, if he's all of those things, just let him run. If you can easily beat him, so just let him run.
And that's a solid point for the left. I mean, like, why? Because like even ABC, was it ABC or NBC? When they were showing the Trump thing in Mar-a-Lago after he got booked, they blurred out the texting of his number so that you couldn't text like donations and stuff.
They were big mad. They're like, we're gonna just
Like,
blur out the
but
text.
that's not election interference.
That is election interference, but that's also the genius of Trump because they thought he was going to go on a whole tirade about the arraignment and shit. He was like, "Nope, I'm running for
Well, we
president."
watched it live, and a
We
lot of them
watched
broke away. They broke we watched like different networks on purpose just to make sure one we could show it on YouTube Live, but two to show their networks, and they broke away. We had to keep changing the channel on YouTube because they would break away. Oh, he's just going on a campaign rant. Okay, why?
And you just gave him all the airtime that he needed. So
He didn't need the
I'm
full
always
two-
here for his troll moves.
Yeah.
Always. Always. It's what brings me back to him. When he does some troll shit, I'm like, damn
Yeah, it
it,
was
that's why I
NBC.
loved you in the first place. Shit. Like
that was-
he's getting me in nostalgia Trump, and I'm just trying to ignore the crazy Trump people that make me not like him anymore. I'm like, y'all
Right.
go over there.
Yeah, those
Like,
people get like this whole tribal. You have to be loyal to a fault. You can't criticize him. You can't not. You have to like every. No, I don't. I won't, and I'm not going. I'm never going to. If I don't like it, I don't like it. That's it.
That's kind of how America has become, is big old tribalism, because I mean, people are going to get offended that we chastise Candace Owens because they love Candace Owens so much, and that's why you don't see the left dogging on Biden. I mean, and so it's just become this vicious cycle of not being able to criticize your own because of fear of your own attacking you because of it. And you may not agree, but then you become a cult if all you do is agree with everything that they say.
If you are around me and everything I do is great, get the fuck away from me.
Facts.
I don't have time for that. I had to have fucked up somewhere along here, like, or something didn't look right, or if I can't run this by you and get your real, authentic opinion on what it is, then I don't need you. What the fuck do I need you here for? I think I'm great, so I don't need you to tell me I'm great. What's wrong? So like, come on, people. Like, no. So that's when you have a bunch of yes men around you, you start fucking up. So yeah.
And the thing is, like, we all know that deep down.
Mm-hmm.
But we all become that same hype man that we hate. I mean, that's the thing.
We really do. Because I remember like me and Tex just saying something so simple about Trump that we didn't like. And it was insanity. The next day, we both wake up and I wake up to all these notifications that like I'm a traitor, I'm a plant, I work for the government. I was a TikToker that went to the White House meeting, and I'm like,
oh,
I mean, don't get me wrong. If Joe Biden did invite me to the White House, I would 100%
totally go.
I would go. Like,
would you go, AJ?
No,
like not even just.
No, I would go.
Like just to go to the White House, you don't have to like the president. Like that's an experience.
Right, exactly. I would just want to have that experience of going to the White House. But
I tell him to go fuck himself before I left, like for sure, like right at the end. You know what I mean?
Finger on the way out.
After I got the whole tour.
Make sure it's over the Secret Service agent that's escorting you out.
Total 5-star treatment, and then just be like, yeah, fuck off. Thanks for the trip. Like,
now, with all due respect, Mr. President, go fuck yourself. You got to say it like that because then it's distinguishable.
Yeah.
I followed. There was a person, even like Candace Owens, she critiqued Trump, and this woman made this list on Twitter. I wish I had screenshot it. She was like, "Here's a list of the so-called conservatives who went against Trump." Mind you, most of these people just made a critique, right? They didn't like say we're not voting for him, we don't like him anymore. Just a critique. They had like Candace Owens and ABL and Brandon Tatum, and I'm just like, none of these people went against Trump. What are you talking about? They just didn't like something he said or did. Like, you have the right to not like something, dummy, and still support somebody.
It was actually Candace Owens' statement about him that made me like, you know what? I kind of agree with you. Is that like once he got through and then the election happened and everything after that, he stayed in his anger. He stayed in his petty. He stayed in his defeat. His ego was slammed and he hung out there for a really long time to where I was like, I'm good with you, bro. Like, I agree with everything that you're saying, but like, it's not working and we still have to look forward. And even if we get you back in, awesome. I'll have a great 4 years, but like, I'm concerned about the 4 years after that, the 4 years after that, and the 4 years after that, because you can only hang out for 4 more years.
Right.
Then what? Then what are we supposed to do?
I thought he was currently president.
Yeah, I mean, I got informed the other day when I said something negative about Trump that he was still the president right now, and I needed to shut my mouth because I'm a traitor. And I'm like, I can't with you.
I like
people.
going to those
God.
people's content though. I like going because usually when I get that comment, I go right to their profile, and then I see them blaming Joe Biden for stuff, and I'm like, how is it Joe Biden's fault, but Trump is in charge?
Like if Trump has been in charge for the last few years and y'all are still voting for him, I'm questioning your sanity.
Right.
Because things don't look too Trumpy around my house right now. Like
no. Well, AJ, we're at the top of the hour, and you know how we end things. So you got to end us with something positive, something inspirational,
Positive and
or
inspirational.
something funny. You know,
I mean,
it doesn't have to be political. It can just be to the people.
Say something clip worthy for us, AJ.
You can't just be clip. I just can't do one of those. That just clip moments just happen. You can't predict those. But I don't know. Positive and inspirational. Be yourself. Build a platform on honesty. There we go. That's something I can impart in the world, because I've seen many YouTubers and social media people build platforms on these hard stances, and then they start to question the world and everything goes to shit. So be your authentic self. Understand you will find your audience. It may take you a little bit longer, but you would rather build it on authenticity than on an image that you don't want to sustain down the line. So that's what I have to impart on the people.
That was good.
That's a good one.
With that said, y'all have a good evening, and we'll see you next Tuesday. Thank you, AJ. Appreciate you, bro.
Appreciate you. Thank you.